Hey everybody, this is Chris DeFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another Shift Break episode. This is actually the last Shift Break episode for 2018. It has been such a fantastic year. There's been so many topics covered, and it's been an honor to have the amazing lineup of guests that we've gotten to hear from and learn from. It is truly extraordinary, and I'm really grateful for them, and I'm really grateful for all of you listening to the show and sharing these episodes. You know, the listenership for this show has doubled, more than doubled since last year, which is fantastic. And to watch the show grow and to watch it actually impact people's businesses and lives, and it really makes the work that it takes to produce these episodes worth it. And just an honor to host this show and produce this for the benefit of the coffee community. You know, this is the time of year where we are all reflecting on, what happened in 2018. What do I want 2019 to be like? A lot of us are putting together goals, New Year's resolutions, things like that. And that is a good thing to do, I think. I don't think that you should just do it at this time. It should be probably something you do on a regular basis, is to reflect. But the question I think that's worth asking, and it's a question that I ask myself about the podcast and other areas of life, and it's, am I reflecting accurately? Am I looking back on what happened in 2018 and what's true about myself and my business and other areas of life? Or am I letting the negative things warp the way that I set my goals and the way that I allocate resources to those goals? Obviously, we want to be improving. We want to keep growing. Growth is one of the things that I hope you see happen as a result of, listening to this show. But I think that there is a danger of focusing so much on the things that we want to be better at and forgetting and taking for granted the things that we're doing well and excelling in. So let's talk about that a little bit, because I do this all the time. Now, in episode 121, we heard from Lisa Cummings talking about working from your strengths. And one of the things that we were talking about is that we have a tendency to obsess over our weaknesses. And if I'm telling the truth, if I'm just looking at a list of things that I want to be true for 2019, most of them look like reactions against things that I'm disappointed in myself about, or, some area of life that is generated from this lack or this negative view of myself and the world around me. Now, I'm not saying that you have to put your head in a hole and hide, but I am saying that the things that are working and doing well still need your focus, and probably even more so. So if, when we reflect, we allow our energy to be consumed by negativity and the problems, then we won't have very much energy left for the things that are true and life-giving and working to ours and other people's benefits. So my resolution for 2019 is to push further into the positive and not abandon it with the assumption that it's just there, who cares, it's no big deal, I've achieved it, and it'll take care of itself. I need to work on these weaknesses. That's how things atrophy. And then, in fact, that's how I kill plants in my house. I think, boy, a plant would look really good there. And then I don't water it. It does look good. It fits the space, and it deserves some attention from me on a regular basis. And so do the positive things about you and your business, your employees, whatever it is. I personally need to grow in this area. Sometimes it's hard for me to take a compliment. Sometimes I wish that I were different in like a dozen different areas. In all of that wishing and all of that reflection on things that I wish were true robs me of time that I could be reflecting on ways that I could fortify the things about me that are true and are making a difference. So my advice to you, wherever you are, is to look intently for the positive, the fruitful, the good, the energy-giving things that have developed momentum and give life to you and those around you. When you find those things, fortify them, build into them and around them, invest into them. Don't ignore areas of improvement. Of course, you need to grow. You need to be able to make corrections to things that are wrong, but also, and more importantly, don't let it consume you. I'm really good at this. I excel at being overly self-critical. I downplay anything good said about me or successes because it could always be better. What could be better? Where am I failing? How can I succeed in those areas? And it steals life-giving, the sustenance of those words of positivity and those facts about myself and my business or whatever it is, relationships. It steals that sustenance from me, and I'm more likely to burn out in that situation. I need to be able to reflect accurately on life, and that includes and maybe should be overly focused on the positive stuff if we're going to default to one or the other. It also kind of insults other people who say positive things about us or have been blessed or benefited from our work or relationships, because it puts in jeopardy the sustainability of those positive things if we're taking all of our energy and putting it into those areas we feel weakness in or insecurities in. I find that the way I interact with the world around me is kind of like the way I interact with the world within me. The way that I think about problems and situations, if I'm a pessimist about these things, if I default to the weakness, the negative, then it's likely that I'm just projecting the way that I feel about myself. So my encouragement to you is this, and I'm getting a little bit emotional talking about it, but I've heard so many stories from people over the past 2 years of doing this show. It's really helped me tap into the beauty of the industry, the beauty of the individuals that make it up, and that beauty includes you. If you're listening to this show and you think, man, it's not me, I'm listening to this so I can get better, so I can contribute, that's not accurate. That's not an accurate reflection of what you've done. We have this tendency to think that we are doing far less than we actually are. And I would encourage you, this from somebody who does this himself, okay? I've been down that road, and it might be something that I struggle with for a long time, okay? But the fact is that there are people around you who are so encouraged by your presence. You don't have to be an expert cupper. You don't have to be the world's best barista. You don't have to be a flawless manager. In the midst of our imperfections that will always be with us, we're always going to be imperfect, we are making a difference. You are making a difference. And you can continue to do that, especially as you identify what those things are and invest into them on a regular basis. So let's make this resolution together for 2019. Let's look to the beautiful things and the positive things that are true about us and others around us as we reflect on the year, and in so doing, reflect on ourselves, and we make our goals for the year. Let's make one of those goals to invest into and fortify the true and lovely things about us and the world around us and the people who make up that world. And I think if we do that, we're going to see 2019 be one of the best years ever for us personally and professionally. And this is something that I'm challenging myself to do as I make goals that are both personal and professional. And I hope that this is something that has encouraged you. I'm definitely looking forward to 2019. And one huge reason that I am is because of you all. Thank you again for a great 2018. And I will see you here again next week for another edition of Shift Break. Or is it next year? Anyway, sorry. From Keys to the Shop.